Last time the discussion was as Moshe Rabbeinu on the Nitzutz information we called there given das. In Tanya this Rabbi Prati is that Moshe git even klali das. This is, and that's the beginnes Moshe kol echad, and then in bechol der v'der jede Nitzutzin is da zum lelamed das is on. Daheinu, Rabbi Prati is meant us that there's in das there's the keach HaMaskil and there's the muskel, meaning there's a keach in seichel, megit mira keach as ich soll kennen nemen a in sichli, and then there's to teach das, it says to geben a lebedike zach. That's the idea of das. Itzter geht man hereingehen, for was fällt euch das? What is the why do we need it, and what difference is it going to make, and why do we have to have the Moshe Rabbeinu should give it? And the Nekudas Advarim is going to be, first he's going to explain that what das does. He says such a thing is only happens in Zera Adam and doesn't happen by Zera Behem. The only way as us, which are neshamas of Zera Behema, could have this thing is if we have Mata Rebbe, we have someone from Zera Adam. The emesis as a mer from them. Even Zera Adam won't be able to do such a thing. Says the pastors. So da neshama that's neshama to be. That's what we went into last time. Barichis, yeah. What's the difference? Why neshama that's could have and neshama to be not. But even if we do understand that, so neshama the Atzilis could make a meifis, and therefore also neshama the biya could become a neshama the Atzilis. Was tut sich da? Es muss man sagen, dass bei ihm es Moshe Rabbeinu ist nicht der Punkt der neshama the Atzilis. Es noch echer von dem. He has a kayach to change a person should be shalei lefi arke. Should be shalei lefi arke in he is betzem shar zara behem. So da eine was neshama zara Adam. So da a dritte was das a Rebbe was kann nehmen an neshama zara Adam und machen behem und machen für Adam. Das ist eine dritte Geder. Das ist der Pelle von der Rebbe. That's going to be the big. Aber lassen wir anheben erstens, what's the word of das Bechla? Ist ein Siv Gimmel. Und haben sie bei Pratis Jeser Maua Hechrich bin ja nach das Tafki. Immer Jeser Echad mi Gimmel am Meichen wo Achner Shabem. What's so important about das? Look, it's the third and it's the lowest. Ja, hine Meiles Hadasi shal Yodi Dafki Nasis Helodas Amitis. Kavur Betanyesh, Leikasher Adam is daiti, Viske Machshavti Becheze, Karei Afshi Yesh, Binyan HaChochma V'Abina Begdulas Havaye, Mikom Mokim Leyelet Benafshe Yire V'Ave Amitis, Kim Dem Yenes Shof. Valkein, Hadas Ukim Amitis V'Chayusam V'Ukel Chesed, Gvure Pirish Ave V'Amfer V'Yire V'Amfer. This is a Losh Natanya Perikim. So, what we're saying, that L'cheire, das is, he says, Achrin Shabem, which would mean, in the Seder, Chachme is that the fuller air is made. Bina is that you mafar it into the Pratim. What's das? Das is, okay, so it's like the bridge to bring it even lower. So l'cheire, das is like the lowest. Zogt men as ne. The mile of das is that it brings midis. Meile, that's a bavais. What is the muhus of das? It's fakert zatiferein. As if not, then there will be dem yeneshof. So, Bechlal, when we say der Wort, we're used to learning Tanyas. Das, if you don't have das, then it's dem yeneshof. What do you mean dem yeneshof? I'm imagining that I have a hergish and I don't really have a hergish. I'm convinced I have something which I don't have. A dimyan is an imagination. Obviously, that's nicht wegen dem da. There kommt nicht Schädel sein, people which are eingerät and they're imagining that they're having things which they don't have. So there's clearly an idea of there is Ave V'Yir. Says da emes Ave V'Yir. Elamai, it's lefi erech called dem yenes shaf. And this is what we have to be magdir. What's the uftu of das? And memele, what's the necessity? So, lass mal gehen weiter ein bisschen. Geht abtatschen ein bisschen was ist das, and maybe we'll be able to come back. ולכן, הקוטן אף אם בר שכל, אפילו בר שכל חריף, מכל מקום לכל עליו אחיה ואחרייס תראה מצווה, לבי כי מצווה ולבי שמירס מצלסה, כיוון דלאו בר דסו. דאף שידעו מבין, מכל מקום חוסר אצל עניין הדש, שהדובר נגיע לסנאי כן, זול ורן הזה. So we see an interesting thing. This is a sehr interessante Metzius. The fact is that you could have very intelligent young children. So Ayanik v'chaki. And you could have very unintelligent older people. Yeah. So das ist eine narische ältere Menschen. But the din is, when you're 13 years old, you become a chuyiv mitzvahs. And when you're 20 years old, you become a baramsh. Was is das together? What's age got to do with anything? What does intelligence have to do with anything? So the klal is pashat. Ein schnell an kemas hier. Me can nicht geben a einish only if somebody communicated to you what's the chizarn. And not just the hazara, he has to understand what's going to be the hazara einish. So if somebody doesn't understand the harbkeit, the chemere isur von being mechal Shabbos, he doesn't understand what skill is. So mele, you can't punish him. That's the klal. Say bazei, so da Kinder, who that you could verhear them now, they learning up Tariag mitzvahs in Sefer mitzvahs, they kennen all the pirti pratim, what's a karas and what's a lav and what's a dos, alt gelungen. And you have all the people which was the kennish gedenken alle pratim. So das is mamish the was is sutar. So I have to understand over here a pashute havana was heis das bichla. Das means maturity. Was heißt? The Lashon Chazal is as ziknet mit Chamim daitam mis yasheves aleh. Das is something which grows with time. Even though the pashtus, if you're talking in intelligence, says sharper werden sie nicht. Younger are sharper. And to be able to absorb information und so a sharpe apilpul, and even the good magder sein azach, verkehrt, when you become older, your brain is less sharp. But what's the mile? You become more of a bardas. So mizetchen as das has to turn with age. What's the word? So das bepashtus is that you see, it's not about information. It's about what you call in Yiddish the derher. When a derher in azach only comes, first of all, from seeing the richtige proportions. So a child could be very smart, but he never really derhers properly what we're talking about. L'moshel. A child steht azeh. Das has to do with Rachmim. Kavem Tzoi, is Rachmim comes from Das. Wie es steht, Mishen le Das, also le Rachmim, all of those. There was a kesher between Das and Rachmim. Children are impossible for them to feel Rachmim. They don't have a derher, a hergish in something. You could tell them how to act. And they could sometimes be happy or not happy. A gefühl, das heißt, derher in something, a child, he could go and scratch someone else's face. You take any older person, can some tzollen geld, he's not going to be asking to do it. Why? Because it's just a field, like it's a human being's face, like a child has nothing to do with intelligence. It's to do with a derher. That's something which only comes with age. You can't accelerate that, and you can't slow that down. That's something which comes, and Chazal said, the stages in them. Wie viel a mensch can derheren azach? It's maturity. Or let's say it in more positive wörter. The Alter Rebbe says, as a ktanim, the cheshik gedwarim ktanim choseyerich. So one of the Agdalas that says in Chassidus is, as a cotton nehmt jede Sache in a even von einer Kude. Because he takes things in even on a kude, he could never really see things in proportion. So the child is excited. He likes life. He wants to be alive and not dead. But he also likes a ball. So he may run into the street to catch his ball. So both of them he did hurt. The problem is, nicht der hurt, das beeinarich von them. He didn't really get it. Is the far sagt man, you could tell a child, if you're going to do this, then you're going to get 39 malchus. He didn't derher how painful malchus are, and what that means in the Harbkeit of Aveda, was the Eibishter will sich so werden als bestraft. So he never really understood the Hazara. So he was never warned. So an angel, he knows all the information. The Chazit is very good. He doesn't get it. He just doesn't get it. He doesn't. The far, so steht as allemal as das is the Keich Achra. The Lashon Chazal in Brachas min das avdala minayin. It says a Keich Hadas is shikol hadas, to be machriya between two svaras. A child could learn a lot of svaras. Then you have to ask him a different question. What do you think is better? Which svara do you prefer? That child won't be able to understand. He'll be able to know the information. Yeah, the only thing he could say is if the teretz unfinished the kasha and hat a kasha von andere Breises, so memele he's stuck. But if the system worked, do you get it? It does a good teretz, it does a schwache teretz. So hachroe is keich hadas, and that's a keich which comes with maturity. It's a totally different thing. Yeah, this is even more simple. We'll get a gute Meise von Nochem Kaplan. Kennt ihr Nochem Kaplan von Kranheit? Yeah. So he was a kid. So he's given in London. There was a Rav, Rabbi Abramsky. Rabbi Abramsky was the greatest Rabbanim in Russia. Then afterwards, he was a Dayan in London. The Avbezdin dacht sich afterwards he moved to Israel. He given from the Daily Israel. And so his father, Mishmiyam Kaplan, was close with him, and he would talk to him and learn. So he once told him that mein Sohn hat schon angegeben Gemara. So he said, dein Sohn hat nicht angegeben Gemara. He said, what's the problem? He's 8 years old or something, 9 years old, hat angegeben. So he said, bring him here. So he brought him, and he said, was lernt er am Afgit? So he starts asking him all the, was is the din? How many shemrim are there? For shemrim, Hashem Masach, Hashem Mechinam, Hetanot, Oizrechenen, nur so, what's going to be in such a case, and a pshia, and a shmirah, all's good and fine. Excellent. After he asked him one question, he said, sagst du da vier shemrim? What happens if one of them dies? Wie viel ist geblieben? So, 3. So, also wie viel hast du verstanden? Kind versteht nicht. Kennt Ayam. That's even basic. Like, he doesn't get it. Da sagt man, das. I mean, it's probably even before that. That's just like... So, over here, we're saying Azeh. If I don't derher de Zach, wird de Zach nicht herangenehm. It's not going to become... Because das means, it's my opinion. That's the translation of das, of Yiddish, like my day. Yeah? It can't be my day if I don't derher it. Like you say, B'shame B'sil. Yaakov child, which you prefer, I weiß nicht, was to Why? Because how could he have an opinion in something which isn't there? Sagt man, the test to see if you have real das is if it could come into midas. Is nach der Linie nehmen. But let's frame the question differently. Man sagt allemal, as man darf haben das in order for a person to have fuller seichel. Chachma bin das. It's 3 schal. So the klotzkashe was alle fragen is, seichel is muslim on das. Maybe I won't have midas. What am I missing in Seichel? Is the Teretz's name. It's a Meach Hadas. It's a Chelik von Seichel. The Raya, du hast das, is as du hast midas. Because only then do you really understand what's going on. The Derher, that is Chelik of Seichel. That's not Chelik of midas. That's the only way you could be Machriya Nasugi. You can verstehen, was tut sich. So, that's what we say. Even though Lechur, it's a Achrin Shebehem. Daheinu lechore, nur ist schon auf dem Weg zum Mittag. Sagt, nein, das ist der Mahus in der Seichel. Der Reihe ist, ob sie nimmt durch die Menschen, es kommt im Mittag. Ja. Lassen wir sehen, wie wir teitschen es ab. Shuram Escheles Hadavar. 6 Shuras von eben. והנה נו, והנה, מח החכם שהוא רשס השכל, ולמעלה מזה יש עניין החכם שהוא מקר השכל, מה שנגיע לה וידעו עניין רשס השכל, נקודס החכם נקרא הנוכה. The beginning of the development of every seichel is first of all that there's hanoche. Select tzachazim. Yeah, there's higher than that, but we're talking over here in my experience. Yesh be'apratin shebeseichel, Hashem klulim menekudas haseichel. V'chen yesh gam anatiyas lechesed, v'legvura el Hashem behel. That's chacham. V'inyan abinu, pirut inyanim aklulim menekudas hachacham. Bina is already the way it's coming out in pratim. V'gile anatiyas lechesed legvura. You could still, that's a pashas in the experience of Bina. When a person is learning something, then after he has another tzad. He could see two tzadim bichlal, zwei terutzim from Teisvus, yesh bezeh mashein bezeh. But he hasn't chosen the side. Why hasn't he chosen the side? Because he didn't connect with one of them. It wasn't his chayv to connect. Shein kin inyan adas, inyan adas u miloshen hiskashrus v'hakore v'hargosha. Shem Gimmel b'adreges b'das zula meile mezu. The betchila mekasher atzmi minyan, v'haydei zu bali de hakora b'inyan, v'ad shebal hargosha. Hane shakarasi b'inyan zeh b'tekev kol kach, ad she'en zu rak hakora b'meich, ela shemargish gam b'libe shekach u inyan. Kshebal matzav zeh zeh jedem kvar ma'amodim matzave, b'avosser halten wo hat sich abgestellt. So the raya for those was out their heart is that it comes into mitzvahs.
You're saying Hargosha is talking about the midas?
Oh, that's a good question. I thought I'm going to schmear that. The Lashon over here is interesting. Usually in Chassidus sagt man nicht die drei Lashonos. Sagt man nicht das, man sagt es in Aseder Acher. Lamoshel in Basiligani Yud Gimmel. In Sheshis Yomim and Tashinvov. Like the places where Meretwek in Das, but Derech Klal, the Seder is Hiskashrus, Hargosha v'Hakar. Kasher daite, margish, and hakara is the peak.
Hakara is the herring.
The kara is the herring. Yeah. So first, haskashrus means my pool. I connect with it, which means the kayach of focusing, getting involved. Yeah, that's pashut sich zubinden. Hargosha is therefore because du hast sich zugebunden zu der Sach. So the thing, so you start having a gefühl in it, right? And as you start like, till you have hakar. Hakar is the taich as select zich as azeidus. Select zich as. Maybe in a second, but it's like an avarting that. Well, that's the pashas taich hakar. Der her. Over here, he says his kashas hakar v'hargosha. So. L'chayr over here, we're talking about Hargoshas Alev. That's how he finishes off. Yeah? And Shekaros bin Yibeteka Kokach, Biz is Margish Gam Belibe Shekachoin. But it's not the regular Loshen, the way we use Hargosha. Usually we mean Hargoshas Hameich. Over here we mean the Hargosha Shalachar Akar. V'sukum shenan Hargoshas Alev. Gerade it's Pasha Meduyik also in the Teichen from the Mamor. In Basiligani Yud Gimel, the structure over there, the whole Lamoshel over there, many places, we talk about Das. The quality of Das is his strength. That is a takeif and is not a spell from the Sviv. It's stark. That's Das. Das Chazak. Male over there, the Sugi is not Midas. So the point is, as a kum to Hargosha, kum to Hakar, and the Hargosha in the Seichel is but the Hakar, that's the last stop. That's what we're looking for. Over here, we will doch Haroz bringen how much is going to change the midas, that the midas shouldn't be the Miyana Shav. That is, for that we need Hargosha Zalev. So over here, the Hargosha means something else. So the Seder of the Varim changes around. The Chore. Yeah, let's just come back to the Miyana Shav Takim, the Angerir Wort. What's the Miyana Shav Lefize? Obviously, the Mienis doesn't mean that I imagined, you have a 14-year-old Bachov, so gemeint as a davent, is angekommen in the Chweis, when I didn't. Das ist Sheker. That's what the Alter Rebbe is being shaded in Perigim and Tanya. The Mienis Shav means L'chura Azeh, and it's going to actually be Negea a bissel weiter, Negea Zera Adam and Zera Behema. What's the difference between Adam and a Behema? So we say Behema in Ladas. Was heißt? When one of the pashut chilukim between Adam and a behema is that it's called das nikne, dahainu. Kem nicht verstanden azach. A behema doesn't really get anything. Now a behema could know a lot of information. Und gerade a behema could sometimes know more information than humans. It's nicht stam that we take dogs to smell things that we don't know. I'm saying you take animals for protection or to know they could know the weather or the when danger is coming or what food is, and sometimes much more developed than humans. So what's the touch of the Bazez is not das nick. We know things, they don't know things. Is da Agdore, was steht, weil bei Beheme, it doesn't understand any inyan. All he understands is information. In other words, to him, he understands, Lamashal, the Pasha to Dugma for das Nichne is, you take a Beheme and you could hit him. Yeah? So steht, Yod Asher Kinei v'chamer Avos Balav. So he knows he has a kin and he has a Avos Balav and mizakt him. So therefore, every time he turns right, you hit him. So he got used to, no, he has to walk straight. Then he turns left, he schlagt him nachamol. So he say, hat sich eingewöhnt, dass darf gehen gleich. Does he derher that there's a road over here and we're going somewhere and there's a Mokim Yitzia and then there's a Yad, there's a gold somewhere and we're traveling? He has no idea what you're talking about. He just knows the recht tut weh and links tut weh. So he understood, he knows a lot of information. He didn't derher anything.
Like a computer.
Right. A computer doesn't have das. Okay, now everyone's amazed. Was geht sein mit AI and things? Das is not going to be shaykh verkehrt. Se kommt die Mesa Mashiach, se kommt nennt sie Mesa Mashiach. Se eine Molar today. Is that the only thing which is going to be worth anything is das, because all information is going to be useless. The only value is going to be the verkehrt. Alle gehen davon werden Pneumium, because if not, useless. Was hast du zu bringen zum Tisch?
Bald gesagt alles. Ich habe gesagt, es ist nicht sein, es ist eine Oivit.
Oh, right. Yeah. Information.
Chips, sie machen die Chips ein.
Yeah. I mean, even Amal Abaki was hakelt sich in der Marechite, you need a Baki. Heint, gar nicht. You can schreiben alles in seconds. Because, why? So that's just a raya that even when there was a Musakul Bechiyah, soft, it wasn't me. Technically, we didn't have all the Sfarim, so you managed, it was a Chamer Nes Sfarim. Was allein gepackt alle Sfarim in Kopf. You didn't, their hair is quality, that's something which is to do with me, my nefesh. Sagt man as, was ist dem Jenischer? Lass mal zurückkommen zu der Sache. So, al derech zeh, so animals, we say they could smell, their senses that there's danger. Do they chap that there's a concept called danger, or it's reactions? This is coming, so mela, I'm running for my life. But they don't, their hair, what a fire is. They know to run from fire. So they know a lot of information. Garnish their hair. Das ist Punkt abehem. Und das ist Punkt akotten. It's the same idea. Come over, there's different levels. But it's, in concept, it's the same idea. Is al derich zeh, is a mensch was hat Chachmon bin. As ken a sach, aber didn't der Herr der Sach. Is al derich zeh, sagt man, is going to be a hergish which comes from Chachmon bin. A hergish which comes from Chachmon bin is not a lie. It's a dimyon. There's a difference between a sheker and a dimyon. A sheker is making as if something's happening which is not. A dimyon is that you medam medam ladav. Medam mils. What says? I have, let's say, in I imagine something. Yeah, in every imagination there's a certain truth. There is this location. I'm imagining in my dream that I'm nimtza in that location, right? In the story, it's happening. Kilo Neymar, it's based on some truth. It's just not me. It's not happening to me. It's happening on some level, on some plane. In my experience, it's happening in my cholim. It's not happening in Metzius. It's not light. It's not like I made up something from Anfang business off. So, al derech ze bedakus is a person could experience something where it's not really about him. So I'm experiencing a matzav of Ave, even, or a matzav of Yire, but because it's nicht rein in mir, I call it a dimi. It's not really about me. So it's a very dakustic dimyene shav, what we're saying over here. Yeah? But because it's not really me, it's not going to have a kim. Because there's a deeper me, which Bichlal didn't become fakeft yet to this Ave Yire. But Mela, at some point, he's going to wake up, and he was never mischayev to this. So the whole, so it was experiential. It wasn't really me. Yeah. Fine. Das ist als, was man sagt, der Chiluk zwischen einer was hat das und einer was hat nicht. Now, that's bichlal das, bis jetzt redet man gar nicht das in Alakus. Das ist Pashat, der Teva, wa Adam, biachas da Kotten, biachas da Behem. Sagt man, als al derich sei es in der Eibischter, is a Godel, a Adam can haben das. So, jachste der Eibischter darf zu sein a Adam. So kann haben das in Alakus. In Mille de Alme, you just have to be a bisschen mature. I mean, and darf es bringen, like quality of life, in even responsibility in money. Children, they don't inherit the value of money. Even. They sort of don't inherit the value of a relationship. So anything which mont at der Herren is nicht shaykh. But because it's life, so as long as you're mature and you allow your nefesh to develop, it could work. Masha'en ken as it kommt zu Alakos, if I'm not living in that world, so the whole yachas to Alakos will be like, it could be I'm a very mature person, a fully developed human. But I don't have a keach hadas in Alakos, because it's still going to remain a fremde zach by mir. Al derech v'achachman bina on das and everything. It's going to be like, I'm like a child. I hear words, and I hear Sachen, and I make cheshbeines, and I can learn Chassidus ein ganzes Leben, aber es legt sich nicht. Chassidus legt sich nicht. It doesn't become like a real thing. So, the same chisaron that a normal person has in das, when he's younger, as a cotton, everybody really has biachas talakus. Is of them darf man haben, is only, l'chura, the only person which could be, is a Adam. That's the Chiddush of a Rebbe, as jeder eine can haben, even if you're Zara Adna, Zara Behema, can so haben, Adas and Alakus. Islam is it. So, afresh bin Neshama dat Tzila Shem Zara Adna, Neshama de Biyah Shem Zara Behema. Velem Biyah, habitul rak bitul ayesh. Hainu, shagam sheyesh ninyan asag balakus beseichel, v'yedim shkach tzarech liyes, mekom makim, benegel lepeil in habitul bitul ayesh bilvat. Hainu, sheidiosam ene peyala sheken yetzlam, lefi shechazer bei minyan adas. So the word is, the expression, how being magdir is bitl ayesh. The Agdar is a chilik between bitl ayesh and bitl mitzias is punkt das. Bitl ayesh means that the emes is azay, und memele mayesh darf sich mevatel sein. Bitl mitzias is, as mein ganze mitzias is takabotl. This is who I am. So what's going to be the expression that afgemine in avede? The Rebbe read the gleich avede de gesprach. What's the afgemine in avede? Wird sein, das wird bringen so ein bisschen jetzt, das wird bringen so ein bisschen Metzies. Chapt, as it's impossible for us to have a little Metzies. I will always be that there's me, and there's a truth which is squashing me. There's a truth which is, so to speak, I'm subjugating myself to a truth. The truth is so strong, so it's overwhelming me. Ich hab kein Breder nicht, ich muss Meide sein, das ist die Sache. Was? So it could be, yeah. Mehr Shalit. Das bitl ayesh, skafje. Let's call it skafje is regular bitl ayesh. Ich feel azay, aber was soll man dann? Der Emes ist doch nicht azay. Der Emes ist stärker von dem. That's normal avede von Hashem Kerken. Das ist doch wie ich will, das ist doch wie ich feel. Aber ich weiß, ich bin genug, habe ich gelernt zu wissen, als der Emes ist nicht wie ich verstehe. That it should be that this is the way I am. Das ist das bitl mitzis. Als in bitl mitzis ist da kama teitchen. Aber einer von den Teichen ist, als mein ganzer Metzies ist Bottle. Who is my Metzies? The Bittel. Das ist, was ich bin. Ich gehe herum und es ist durchgenommen, there's no two parts of me. The me and the Bittel. Which is Lamreis me. Ich bin Bittel. Als das so sagt, it's impossible. Unless you have das. But wir sind nicht scheich zu das. Sagt man, das ist der Chiddush. Oh, emle taitsch erst amna bitel dat ziles, bitel mitzies, kin ja ziles so shlo yeshn rak, sheyeshn avon va sag shekin tzarich lies, as ach nasim kach mit vert akaze. Shzo mit zadin das. So, usually bitel mitzies ma dreges hat ziles. Sagt man ana shomme dat ziles, ken tag sein das. Ja? Und das ist bepasst, das taitsch atzadik. Is aza. Mich weil ich eine shomme dat ziles, adam gematrie ba, ma שיש בהם עניין הביטל הבא ידי הדס. Das ist der Chiddush, וזהו עניין של משה דכסיב בכיסי קנה עבד עברי, as was, he's going to make a kinyan in the עבד עברי, as he's going to take a עבד, and he's going to be able to bring in him in this עבד. Yeah, Ben is neshama d'atzilis, and the עבד is neshama d'biyah. And in this עבד, he's going to be able to mamshich b'chinas adas b'neshamas d'zara behema. Das ist der Chiddush von Moshe Rabbeinu. Yeah. So, if we finish off, was man hat angeheben in der Dibra Maschil hat man gefragt, was ist das der Loschen Yochid Kisikne? We started off, Elam Mishpat Mishtasim Lifneihem, Loschen Rabbi, was ist Kisikne? Und man geantwortet, no, Kisikne is talking to Moshe. For was? Because only Moshe could be Mamshech das. Kisikne, Eved Ivri, Moshe nimmt der Eved, und es Mamshech in der Eved das. Why is das being called king? And why being Madgish Eved Ivri Davke, das geht mir bald sein. Aber der Klolus Indien ist, als mit Moshe nimmt der Eved und es Mamshech nimmt das. Ja. We have another few minutes? Yeah? That's just, if not, we're not going to finish the Maimish. Can I start in 5 minutes? Yeah? So there's 2 more Nukud Bams. There's 1 Nukud over his Taichin 2 Pratim. So Ad Kan, sagt man, as Moshe Rabbeinu was a Bal Nefes. Das ist ein Rebbe. Yeah? Rabbi, I said the Meise already, the Meise mit Reb Hillel, Yatze Ledesbe. That's a good Meise. Reb Shmuel always used to say this, and as Akdam at Shiur Tanya, like at the beginning of when he learned Tanya in Zamzemti, was man spielen in Zamzemti, vielleicht sagen, als sie gekommen zu Tzemach Tzedek einmal a Yid, a Talmud von der Ksav Sefer, gebeten, als sagen Chassidus. So Tzemach Tzedek told him, man kann nicht keine Zeit. Das ist nicht. Weil es eine Chassidus geht zu Reb Hillel. Real parrot. So he told Tzemach Tzedek, was Reb Hillel ist nicht Chassidus, ist Klischee. So Tzemach Tzedek hat ihm gesagt, sie Yatze Ledesbe. So fine. It's gonna work. So you do as Reb Hillel ist bei Ihnen als Kashrus, gewinnen Miyuchet, mit Zuyen, bei Ihnen Reb Hillel fragt einmal Teitchen, man sagt in so da ist ein Pisken, was Reb Hillel ist ein halber Chos und ein halber Rebbe, ja? Ein halber Tzadik. So Reb Hillel, wie ich say, es ist nicht der Teitchen, als ist ein Tzadik. Der Teitchen ist, als halb von ihm ist Rebbe. Halb von ihm ist und halb von ihm ist Bechal nicht halb von ihm ist der Rebbe leichter nicht. So Reb Hillel was, so was gewinnt der erste Shiur Tanya mit der Yid? Dem gesagt, dass also da 3 Sachen. Beineni ist gewul. Tzadik ist bligwul. Rebbe ist bligwul in gewul. Das ist Rebbe. So ich weiß, was hat gelernt mit dem, if he was learning with him Dagdame, about Yiddish, oder Beis, ich weiß, Punkt, welcher Stück Tanya, aber das gewinnt der Welcome to Chassidus. Das heißt, das ist der Pelle von der Rebbe. Bepasst es. A Rebbe is, a Tzadik is der Rebbe. Das ist eine Schau Atzilus. Ja, open Netanje, redt wegen Machshavzoris, und redt wegen Atzvus, und redt wegen Sachen, ich verstehe das zu gut. Und schau mal, das Ziel ist don't know this. Ja, der Rebbe ist verbrengt about wall-to-wall carpet, und nach Salem, was sie sagen, der Schachente, und was das ist nicht Tzadik im Sprach. Das ist Bligwul in Gewul. Das ist, a Rebbe ist manchmal das zu uns, an Hashem Kerkein. Yeah, sometimes you read the Mamorim from the Frierdiker Rebbe, where er schreibt das gut, like the Kass und Kine und Zinn und Tag. Das ist ein gefährlicher Mensch. Es ist Ärger von mir, ich weiß. Und wie kann das? So Territz ist als der Rebbe. Das ist eine andere Sache. Es ist nicht gewollt, es ist nicht bligwollt, es ist bligwollt ingwollt. Und that's the word over here. Moshe Rabbeinu is not Zera Adam. Moshe Rabbeinu ist Heche von Zera Adam. Kann machen, als ich in der Behemoth kann sein das in Alakus. That's what Chassidus is. Chassidus is das in Alakus. Aber der Feiner Rebbe kann sagen Chassidus. Also als man lernt am Eimer, mit einmal redt man einen in Alakus, und ein Ageteitchen am Moschel, mit der Ischmein, und ein Lewal, und ein Kechezimmer, und ein Abteitchen am Weide. Das ist bringen Alakus zu seiner Behemoth. Ja. Now, bepasst das. Es gut, es Rebbe am Balmefes. Rebbe, there's no Agbalas, kennt dann sagen, that's the Kirche of Moshe. Sagt man, nee. That's not the word. Und wir fragen, ein paar Stücke. Eba Goy wollte kommen zum Rebbe, wollte ich das in alle Kuss. No, why not? Muss man sagen, als Ayid, a viel als Beheime, beemes bekeach hatte der Sache. Der Rebbe ist nicht mechadisch, der Rebbe ist megal.
Last year.
We went into this, right. As Araya, was ist Araya? Araya ist eine mechadisch Dover. Araya ist megal. Das ist der Loschen von Kibla Yudin Pezayin, dort in Perik Dalet. As was Rebbe tut, bringt Riss. Ja. Ich sagte last week, Baleis Chesanedes, aber das steht ja Shevas Elim Eilo. The Lashon Yidu, the Rebbe gibt the Shrebel. Ja,
being Magdal,
huh?
you're being Magdal, the Duktiak Dora, the rest.
Oh, okay. So, ach, ich habe doch haben, nein, ich sag's nicht. Das ist da. So, der Wort ist verkehrt. Als man bringt a Rebbe tut auf, als Gvul, was heißt, as Megale wer is Ayid. As Megale. And that's the uftu over here, when man sagt wegen Zera Behem. So, it's going to go in two stages. Erstens darf man Megale sein, as jede Neshome, and that's the Lashon, me'ever anor. You do always in Chassidus, nor is bina. Yeah? Is nor yetze me Eden is Chochem is Tainuk, nor yetze me Eden is bina, and Lahashkis is Agan, and then the Lashon is, as zum Sof is, from the nor kommt es on zum Yam, and the Yam is always Malchus, Yam Malchus. That's Derech always in the Drush. So, in Sfiris, it's Chachma Bina Zau Malchus, and Elamis, it does Atzilus Bri Tzirasi. So it's nor is, it doesn't touch us clear in this Maimer over here, but that's usually the context. Nor is V'seib Tzacham Bina, V'seib Tzacham Bina, Bri, Nivr. Chachma is das Atzilus, das ist Dvekus. So bei Pashtus Ayid, von wo komme ich? Ich bin ein normaler Mensch, ich lebe in Bia. Sagt man nein. Jeder Yid ist me'ever hanor. Jeder Yid kommt von hinter der Nor. Really, every Yid is Avrama Ivri. Was ist Ivri? A Yid heißt Ivri, Ivri Anechi. Was? Ich komme me'ever hanor, ich komme bei ihm, ich habe hechere Scherisch. Ist der Fall, ist jeder Neshama mit jeder Yid, als man kommt zum Rebbe, der Rebbe tut nicht auf Neues, verkehrt, der Rebbe ist megale, wer der Yid ist. Und wartet der Zave, der Rebbe teitscht aus in der muffletiger Sprache, ja, es megale sind der Ätzem, also bei ihm ist, not even a Mun of Re'ir, nor jeder Yid Betzem. It is all bringing out scharfe, was rein mehemne. Tut nicht auf Neues, ist mit megale, was der Yid. Ist megale Mesiris Nefesh. Macht nicht Mesiris Nefesh, not the Rebbe is nicht zusammen Schuch Melchame, who manages to inspire everyone for Mesiris Nefesh. Verkehrt. Jeder Yid beätzem, nicht will und nicht erkennt. Als man kommt zum Rebbe, bringt sich das aus. So, that's when I get in a sham. Dennoch geht sein, a Chiddush, and over here, this is the Chiddush over here in this Maimer, as the Rebbe legt zu noch, this isn't der Chemtzesacha überall, this is like the regular Sprach, that's the Drush of Eved Ivri, ki Sikne Eved Ivri, as via Zeis, man keine de Eved, Sikne is, was ein Kinyan just being Megal or something. Just like a Kinyan is, from the Chefetz, from the Mecher to Lekeach, se beit sich gar nicht. Yeah? That's why Atzilus is always called Kinyan. Es ist nicht kein Chiddush. Aber was ist das in der Eifung von Kisikna? Es ist nicht kein Chiddush, just Havar es Dove, mit Mechel Lekeach, aber was ist das? Weil es Ivri. Weil es bei ihm ist, Mever Anor, bei ihm ist Izarasa. Atkan is the normal Sprach. Chiddush in this Maimer is going to be, der Rebbe legt zu, nicht nur der Neshama Eichet de Guf. As every Yid mitzad Gufe is Eichet Shaykh Tzad. Was fällt uns? So weiß sich aus, dass der Rebbe teitscht aus, mitzad der Kavone is das a viele in Guf. We're going to have to see the Sprach. It's mamish miyuche die cases. Well, lassen wir erst an der erste Stelle. Omnom, dain zorich lahovin, ich אפשר להמשיך ונשום את זה רבים בכנס הדש, שייך לזה אדם דווקא אחר זה, כסיב כסיק נאווה דיברי, דיברי ועל שם בעבר הנור יושב וסייכם, היינו למעלה מבחינס נור. מבחינס הנור כסיב, ונור יצא מידן להשכס הגענו משום יפורד, שמזה מובן שבחינס הנור למעלה מבחינס שמשום יפורד. אמנם בחינס עבר הנור למעלה גם מבחינס נור. וזהו בעבר הנור יושב וסייכם, שכל נשומס ישראל, גם הנשומס שבחינס זרע בהימה, נשאר שם מבחינס עבר הנור שלמעלה אפילו מבחינס נור. וביסם שם, יש להם דס גודל מהית, זה הלושם von alter Rebbe, ולכן אפשר להמשיך גם בהם עניין הדס. Every yid בעצם potentially has das. דהיינו, every yid בעצם is דבוק, זה legt sich. Was mir darf tun, ist das rausbringen. Und das kann nur sein durch Rebbe. זהו, מה שכסו כסיקנה ודיברי, כסיקנה דייקה. That's the דרוש, שהקניין אין הווה יש דבר חדש, וגם לשיני במוס הדבר. אלא רק יציע מרשוס המכל לרשוס הלקח. וכן, ובעניין המשך הדס משם זרע בהמה, שאין זה שיני בעצם מציוסם, אלא רק גילי ההלם שיש מהם, מצד שורשם מבחין הסבר הנור. ועניין זה נעשה ידי מישה דווקא, פבוס, was ist der Wort von Meishe? Because Meishe kim gam Meishe מדרגה זו דבר הנור, שזהו שנקרא משל על שם כי מן המים משסיעו ששורש מן המים משמית הראשונה. Period. Lama das Abstand da Sekunde. So the Pasha Teich, and this is the way it is in Chassidus Bichlal. Was a Meishen in a Mayim Mishisiu, Mayim is Chachme. Meishen is Chachme dik. Is weil kommt von dorten, is me Meile, kenne das Uftan in der Shamas von Zera Behem, sollen werden echt in Shamas Zerat. So Lama Abteichen bepasst. I mean, everybody is Me'ever or not. What's the Meile of the Rebbe? Chiddush is Pashat. Kommt von Never Anor. Es ist Mushrish in Never Anor. Behind is an Neshama de Biyah. Mishisiu means he's drawn from there. I know that it's a Hemshech. Al Shem ze Nikra. The Father is a Moshe. Is Azav, was noch als Wasser dit. Yeah?
Still there.
He's still there. Betzim. He's min Amayim Mishisiu. Is Amayim dik. Sof. Bleibt aber schwer. Is he a Neshama? Zera Adam. Min Amayim Mishisiu just describes he's Chachmadik, he's not Biyadik. Fine. A Rebbe am doch agerat is not in Zerada. A Rebbe is Heche von Zerada. Hat der Kirch zum Mechaber sein, als er Rebbe Heima soll haben das. How's that explained in Amayim Shisiu? Sagt der Rebbe a neue Wort, as far as I know, this is mamish a new Wort, sagt der Rebbe darf teitschen tiefer in Amayim Shisiu. Nicht mit Amayim Shisiu, als is Wasser, is Chachme, Mishisiu, is geheben von Mayim. Is Heche von Chachme. Und das ist der Teich a Rebbe. A Rebbe ist nicht Chachme. Das ist der Ve'etzes. Weiter, der Ve'etzes ist in Amayim lein nirmes Mishmei. Rach Mishisiu, sham shechosim in Amayim. Fish Amayim reimes Mechnas Chachme. Vila Shorshe Shemesh, ula Meile Mechines Chachme. Das ist ein gewaltiger Wort. Das ist der Agdara von der Rebbe. Ja, wie man tageret. A Bein ist Gewul. A Tzadik ist Bligwul. Und a Rebbe ist Bligwul in Gewul. A Rebbe ist nicht a Tzadik. A Rebbe ist nicht a Shamas Zerada. Und so liegt Geschmack in der Drusch. Und mit diesem Moven, שמיישו למעלה גם נשום זר האדם ולכן בכיכל המשך דאס גם נשום זר בהם ולייס למעלה מקבל זר האדם וזר בהם. So, I'm going to get this shtickle, if you see Hara 18, this is, megedenk nicht if the Rebbe said these words or not, but in the Teichen, for sure that this is richtig. So that's the uptouch of the drush. The Shaila, if it's Zikaron Achadim, is if the Rebbe is mamish upgetouch in the Maimer Hazeh.
It brings it also from Samach Tzedek.
Right. So Shaila is if the Rebbe touch up. No, in the drush I think is new.
So the Minamayim Shisu.
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure. But
Yeah, the tzir is on the
Teichen. On the Teichen, yeah.
So great.
So the Teichen, yeah, it's richtig, it's klar as it's just the Rebbe is a good avegelikt in the Zach. Okay. Adkan is wie the Zach is bepashtus misad an Shamas. Heit sich an Shaila, was ist mit Zad Guf? Yeah. So now bepashtus. Why should there have to be mitzad guf? And in all the drushim, me brekje, the Rebbe tut nicht durch in guf, the Rebbe tut in neshama. What's the problem? As long as your neshama comes, me'ever anno, und der Rebbe is mamshich das in neshamas, wer kommt zum Rebbe? Der Guf kommt zum Rebbe. Der Yid kommt und der Rebbe macht akbaras azur alachem, es soll sein gila neshama, lam reis aguf. Und jeder Yid, der neshama kommt von dort. Mas megala das, what's the sugi? It's a nice sugi b'fnei atme, whether a guf and a yid is anders from a goy, but what's it got to do with here? Mir redt wegen das. Das gefindt sich in guf oder in nesham. Sag ich, in nesham. Der Herr in alakus. Und der Rebbe is bothered and legt zu, as nicht nur, as jeder nesham von a yid kommt von ever an nor, a viel a guf von a yid kommt von ever an nor. Was, weil a guf von a yid nimmt sich von die Zutzen der Teu, was das ist, also schmittere Schäne, das same Havane, sie nimmt sich von a heiche Schädisch. So dort darf man sehen, der Werte, der Iker Chiddisch over is, why is the Rebbe interested in this? Was will der Rebbe auftan? Ach, adain zurück lahavin, die Nikol, so mit Zadan Hashem. Die kippen schon schon, beginnen sie an Nor Kanal, gehen, auf Shalom, schwab, beginnen sie das. Aber haraya in der Matten Teiru, und Hashem ist beguf im Dafke. This is, from the Kashim, is that was the Rebbe will. Wie Iker Akavone, beim Schoches Adas, לישראל להמשך בכנס הדס ונשמס כפי שמסלב שבגופים. ואיך ימשך עניין הדס גם מצד גוף האדם. It's a new kasha. It's in der Shvi, fragt man as a kasha. As the derher in Elikus darf sein, as ich מצד גוף האדם. תארץ זה, אחרי עניינו שגם הגוף שואל שמבחינה זו, שלשרש הגוף הוא מרפח נצוצן די למטאי, שהוא שמית רשיינה. רשיידי שביל לסכן ומנופל למטה בייסר. וכיוון ששואל שמבחינה שמית רשיינה, מעבר לנוע, לכן אפשר להמשיך בבחינת דס, על ידי משהו שגם הוא במדרגה זו כמה. So the teretz is, as nicht nur the neshamas, nur אפילו the gufim, kommen nechet von dort. Just a tight choice, in zwei Wörter. In other words, what's the difference if we say that the gufim also come from Shemitah Rishayim? What do we gain? The Shaila is Pashat. Wenn ich komme zum Rebben, und ich lerne Herchsidus von Rebben, und das ist Mamshech das, Kanal, yeah, it gives Amchashen al Kurs, and al Kurs becomes a real thing. Is that despite my guf, despite who I am when I'm living over here in Elam Hazeh, or, which is Bepashtus, as Yid kommt zum Rebben, is the Taitches, as a hebt sich. Und der Rebbe is geirem, that you shouldn't be an Hashem of a guf. Verkehrt. Los up dein Stub, los up dein Gashmis, los up deine Zerachim Gashmis, und heb sich zum Rebbe. That's the normal Havana. Das meint, that's the Yachas of a Chassid mit der Rebbe. As der Rebbe zint dir an in deine Shamme, and you have das in Elikus. Sagt der Rebbe da sehr starke Wort. No. Das, was der Rebbe tut in dir, ist, als es darf sein echt in dein Guf. Für was? Weil das ist der Kavone. In Kavone, what did they gave with Matan Torah? The point of Matan Torah was, es kommen zum Rebbe, und Leben von Stub, und Leben von Guf, und es kommen zurück, es haben nicht gedacht, wenn es Bad lag, die ganze Meise. The point is that it should become, in dein normale Leben, in dein Guf, in dein Seder Achaim, dort soll sich ablegen. Und auf dem darf man auftauen, as it's normal for a Yid, be'etzem, potentially, come on, you have to have the Rebbe for this, but it's normal for a Yid, mitzad his Guf, zu masken sein Zelikus. As er the Sache, eine Mevade soll sich legen bei mir, mitzad my Guf. And even that is that the Rebbe is being megale in the Guf of a Yid, the normal Ketchup. Das ist ein neues Wort. Es gibt so ein ganz anderer Guck, auf was ein Reim hem ist. Also der Rebbe hebt auf die Yid mitzad Gufe. Ja. Das ist als before the big bomb of this Maimer. The big bomb hebt sich an in Sif Hey, wo der Rebbe bringt da rein, ein ganz neues Wort, suddenly the Rebbe brings in Eter into this thing, there's a whole word in Eter, and das avachria, hechere suk das, and der Sach Gufe der Rebbe bringt da rein. And then, let's just leave it with the Kasha. The Kasha is lefi kolze. Is was tut der Rebbe auf, a viele sehr beheime, kann haben der Herren Alakus. Kommt aus. A zero Adam doesn't need the Rebbe. What happens if you attack a tzaddik? Neshama Datzilus. The whole thing of a Rebbe is, for Neshama's Debiyah, they should also have das. So Neshama Datzilus doesn't need. What does it bother us? Punkt. Mein Nafkemine. Nafkemine is a Rebbe a b'diavdike Sach, oder as the Neshama a libe de emes mitzad shorshe. Is it because, gut, anachrami, Rei von Neshamas, but there is no Eile, seinen Neshamas Debiyah. So mehr darf man haben na Rebbe. Wird schappen, dass mein ganzer Zugang zum Rebben is because of a problem. It's not a problem, it's Seder Stalschluss. But it's because of Seder Stalschluss. Was ist der reine Yid? Schon nicht Stalschluss mehr. Denn es schauen wie das ist in Atzilus. Yeah? Darf es haben na Rebben? So it's not just a question for Pliny, for the Tzadik Echad Ba'aretz, which is a Neshama de Atzilus. It's a Shaila Klolos about my whole Yachas to the Rebbe. Wo kommt mein Yach? Where does my Yachas to the Rebbe begin? Because of trouble, because of Sibus Acheres, because of Ishtalshalus, or weil beätzen the structure of a Yid, sie kann nicht sein. I feel a Neshama de Atzilus, kann nicht haben a richtige Scheich zu der Ebesh andere. That's the Chiddush of Sifei. It's a whole new Mahalach, mit Shem nächste Woche. Hoffentlich mit dem Einschlafen bis Jahres.